Bible was written in code, but why would they go to all that trouble? It's because in ancient times they didn't have government sealed documents or encrypted files to protect information. Instead, they used symbols and numbers to safeguard sacred knowledge. This way, only those truly seeking wisdom would understand the deeper messages. Numerology is an ancient practice that explores the connection between numbers and life itself. The core belief is that everything, including human beings, carries a unique vibration, and numbers represent those vibrations. The Bible is filled with these hidden codes, and understanding them can unlock powerful insights. Today, we'll break down the meaning of the numbers 1 through 12, dive deep into the symbolism of the beast, also known as 666, and decode the mystery of the 144,000 saved described in Revelations. With this knowledge, we can begin to uncover some of the hidden messages waiting for you in Scripture. Let's dive in. The meaning of the numbers 1 through 12. The number 1 signifies God, the Logos, which represents divine unity and the source of all creation. 2 represents body and soul, you and God, masculine and feminine energy, symbolizing duality and connection between humanity and the divine. 3 represents new life, resurrection, but it's more than just resurrection or new life. 3 represents the divine pattern of manifestation, how spiritual principles take form in the material world. It reflects completion of a thought or concept into reality, seen in Jesus' resurrection after 3 days, and Jonah was also in the whale for 3 days. 4 represents your fold forward nature, as in the physical, spiritual, intellectual, and emotional aspects of human existence. The number 5 represents meditation, sacrifice, and the 5 senses. The 5 senses, sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell, can either elevate or trap you in ego. Jesus' 5 wounds during his crucifixion symbolizes the sacrifice of the senses to rise into divine consciousness. 6 represents doctrine, law, religion. John 2 verse 6 says, "And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece." Jesus turning water into wine with 6 jars symbolizes the transformation of rigid doctrine, symbolized by water, into spiritual flow, symbolized by wine. Water represents emotionalism or lower understanding, while wine represents divine wisdom. Jesus' miracle illustrates a shift from external religion to internal spiritual awakening. 7 represents divine intervention. One example is in Joshua 6 verse 3. "And ye shall compass this city, all ye men of war, and go around about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days, and 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram horns. And the 7th day ye shall encompass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets." 7 represents God stepping into human struggle to provide deliverance, as seen with the Jericho walls falling after 7 days. Elijah prayed 7 times for rain in 1 Kings 18. "And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, Behold, there arise a cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand." Elijah prayed 7 times before God answered with rain, showing divine intervention after perseverance. 8 represents rupture, separation, symbolizing breaking away from old cycles to step into a new beginning. 9 represents human consciousness, ego, the number of human nature. The repeated number in Revelations of 1260 days reduces to 9, symbolizing trials of consciousness. 10 represents completion, with 0 being the last new number in the sequence. Any number after 10 is a repetition of 2 numbers. 10 represents the full cycle of existence and the completion of divine order. That's why there are 10 commandments representing God's complete moral law. 11 represents chaos, disorder. 11 represents breaking free from existing systems to spiritual awakening and enlightenment. Joseph's dream in Genesis 37 verse 9. Joseph saw 11 stars bowing to him, symbolizing tension and disorder among his brothers before their eventual reconciliation. 12 represents perfection, divine governments, linked to the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 apostles, the 12 zodiac signs, and the 12 months in a year. 12 symbolizes cosmic and divine order. These numbers repeat throughout the Bible, not by accident, but to guide us to deeper meaning. I'll briefly explain how numerology works for those who are unaware. In numerology, we add up the digits of a number together until we get a single digit. For example, if you had 29, you'd add 2 plus 9, which equals 11. Since 11 isn't a single digit, you add 1 plus 1, which gives you 2. Let's see how this works for one of the most misunderstood numbers, the number 9. Again, the number 9 is about human consciousness and ego. In numerology, 9 represents consciousness. It's our mind, our flesh, our emotions, both the light and dark sides of being human. Whenever you see references in Revelations to 42 months, which is 3.5 years, which is 1260 days, this isn't random. It symbolizes the human struggle to rise above our lower nature. Let's apply this to 2 of the most powerful symbols in Revelations, the symbolism of 666, the beast. Revelations 13 verse 18 says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The numerological breakdown of 666 is 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 18. Then 1 plus 8 is 9. The beast isn't an outside force, it is the lower mind. 666 symbolizes our ego, the part of us that feels greed, fear, and destruction. The real beast is a voice inside that tells you you're not enough, that makes you worry about the future or cling to negativity or toxic patterns. Alright, let's talk about the 144 saved mentioned in Revelations. Revelations 14 verse 1 says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb, and stood on the Mount Sinai, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads." The numerological breakdown of 144,000 is 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 9. The 144,000 isn't a literal number of people who get into heaven. It symbolizes those who raise their consciousness to a higher, divine level. It represents enlightenment, those people who quiet the lower mind and connect with God through spiritual awakening. The verse mentions his father's name, which is the King of Kings, is a reference to the crown chakra, the energy center linked to divine connection. When the writers state that the name is written in the forehead, it is speaking about someone that has reached divine consciousness, living with spiritual awareness and unity with God. The 144,000 saved are those who transcend lower consciousness and step into their higher divine nature. Mount Sinai symbolizes the mountaintop of consciousness, in other words, rising to spiritual enlightenment. There's a story in John chapter 21. A group of disciples were together, and two of them, Simon and Peter, decided to go fishing. Fish in the Bible symbolizes wisdom, so they went in search of higher knowledge. They were at it all day and night and had no results. In John chapter 26 verse 6 it states, "And he said unto them, Cast your net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw for the multitude of fishes." Now, is Jesus saying that you should only fish from the right side of a ship to catch fish? No. He's speaking about the left and right hemispheres of the brain. The left being your human or carnal side, and the right being your divine or God brain. In order to reach higher wisdom, you must engage with your right hemisphere of your brain through spiritual practices like meditation. We can see another reference to this when you look at how many fish they catch. John 21 verse 11 states that they caught 153 fish. When we look at the numerological breakdown of 153, we get 1 plus 5 plus 3 equals 9. The catch of 153 fish is a hidden message about reaching divine consciousness. In my opinion, the Bible is one of the most profound pieces of literature ever written. It holds messages for everyone, no matter where you are in your spiritual journey. On the surface, you get simple but powerful lessons like love thy neighbor, you reap what you sow, which reflects a universal law of cause and effect, or in science, every action has a reaction. But as you dive deeper, learning to understand symbols and parables, the Bible transforms into a hidden guide to self-discovery. It teaches you not just about the world, but about yourself. Matthew 13 verse 34 says, "And these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world." 1 Corinthians 2 verse 11 says, "For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of a man which is in him?" In other words, seek enlightenment to save yourself. If this video sparks something in you, I encourage you to explore the Bible in a whole new way. Don't just read it, decode it. Look for the hidden patterns, the symbols, the numbers. That's what real Bible study should look like. The Bible isn't just a book about the past. It's much more, including a map to your inner world. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. And if you'd like me to go deeper into other numbers or biblical symbols, let me know in the comments. Until next time, keep seeking, keep roaming, and remember, not all who roam are lost. You're right where you need to be.